Hey guys, my name is Matthew Anderson. I'm back here on the YouTube channel just doing a Criterion Hall collection, whatever you want to call this. I figured since I was looking over Wonder Meg's channel, I figured I might as well pay tribute to the wonderful Wonder Meg. We love you. Check out her channel if you ever get a chance. Wonderful commentator for the Lone Screenplay Nominee podcast, and also has some really interesting film opinions. Definitely check out her channel if you haven't already. But yeah, no, I figured I went over some of her Criterion Hall that she had gotten lately, and I thought, you know what? Let's why not do a Criterion Hall myself? So I figured, screw it, why not? And so yeah, so that's pretty much what I'm going to be doing, is just going through pretty much all that I have here with me for Criterion stuff, and so let's get to it. So first, I just want to I also want to preference too that not every Criterion movie I have with me and I'm going to show off here, I've seen all of them. I'll note them out. If I've already had like a whole podcast episode coverage of them on my channel or someone else's, I'll just link in the description below on all the episodes you could check out. And without further ado, let's get started. So the first film I want to get through is Fisher King. I had seen this before with my grandmother back when the pandemic had started. I should also point out that this version, as you can see right here, I'm not sure if you can see with the glare, it is a 15K. Was it a not 15K, but a age rating of 15. It's a UK import. In fact, my mom had gotten this for me for one of my birthdays, and it just ended up being a UK import. Luckily, thanks to my brother, we have a functioning region-free Blu-ray player that could support Region A, Region B, which is what this is, a Region B disc. And yeah, so I'm able to play this well and smoothly. But yeah, I remember it being pretty good. If nothing else, Jeff Bridges and Mercedes Ruehl they both give really good performances in it, and Robin Williams is really good too. He got Oscar nominated for this, I believe. So yeah, that's that. Age of Innocence. I had watched this with my grandmother as well, back when the pandemic had started taking into effect. In fact, this was actually one of the first films my grandma and I had watched before we started this trend of watching movies together over at her house, of course. And it was actually pretty good. It was a really great experience. We were engaged with it. And if you haven't seen Age of Innocence yet, I don't know what you're doing, because it's a really solid Martin Scorsese film that I personally think is great. And Daniel Day-Lewis is terrific. Michelle Pfeiffer's pretty good. Winona Ryder's pretty good. I think Julie Christie might be in it for like a voiceover, and then Richard E. Grant's in it as well. A pretty good movie overall. But yeah, highly recommend this for sure. Ace in the Hole. Already covered it on my Lone Screenplay Nominee podcast. If you'd like to hear more of my thoughts on it, check out our episode over there. So yeah, Do the Right Thing. It's a really, really solid movie that I would recommend everyone to consider watching at least once. It's probably up there in terms of Spike Lee's some of his best work he's done, and it's still shocking that a movie as relevant as this is only ended up getting 2 Oscar nominations for supporting actor for Danny Aiello and original screenplay nod for Spike Lee himself. Yeah, check it out if you haven't seen it already. It's really, really good. Following, I don't remember much about this other than I remembered it being a pretty decent directorial debut for Christopher Nolan. It was done as like a micro-budget film where they ended up shooting this, I want to say, as many weekends as they could, because that was the only days him and his friends had off, the ones that were making the film. 70 minutes long. I remember it being decent enough. I don't know if I would call this, I don't think it's anywhere near Christopher Nolan's worst films he's done, but it's enjoyable enough. And if you're interested in watching the rest of his filmography, I would recommend this for sure. But yeah, I'd recommend this for sure if you want to complete his entire filmography and at the very least are interested in seeing what else he has to offer as a director. So, or at least the potential he showed from the beginning, and look where he is now. So yeah. Next one, Devil's Backbone. I have not seen this yet. I will catch it down the road, but don't worry, I might do a YouTube video review for this. Maybe I might do a letterbox. I'll definitely do a letterbox diary for this when this comes out down the road. But yeah, that's that. Ghost World. I already covered this episode with Kyle and Noah on the Lone Screenplay Nominee podcast. Just check in our episode to see what our full thoughts were on it. Graduate, never seen it yet all the way through. I'll check it out down the road and might even cover it for my Patreon podcast. We'll see. Pan's Labyrinth. Really, really solid fantasy Del Toro film. Probably some of the best work he's done, if nothing else. It's a really clever and original fairy tale that's interwoven within a World War II time period. It's really, really solid. If nothing else, I would highly recommend you watch it just for the amazing production design and the incredible makeup work, especially for the fawn. And there's a creature, I don't even remember what the character was, but he had like these eyes on his on his palms and such. I thought were really, really impressive work overall. So yeah, definitely check it out just for the production design and the incredible makeup work alone. And Doug Jones is really good in this as the two creatures. Bottle Rocket. I don't remember much of my thoughts on this other than much like following. It's interesting to see where Wes Anderson started from and where he is now, to stuff like The Phoenician Scheme, Grand Budapest Hotel, The French Dispatch. It's just a really interesting directorial debut at that level, and to see him grow as a filmmaker from there. And it's nice to see him and Owen Wilson are collaborating on films every so often, so that's a bonus. And yeah, so yeah, I'd be curious in revisiting this down the road for sure. So this here is the America Lost and Found, the BBS story, a continuing series of important classic and contemporary films in which you have films from Bob Rafelson, Dennis Hopper, Jack Nicholson, Henry Jaglom. I think that's how you pronounce his name. I could be wrong. Peter Bogdanovich with The Last Picture Show. I have not gotten a chance to watch any of these movies. I will do my best down the road to watch them, especially Last Picture Show and Easy Rider. 5 Easy Pieces I definitely want to watch, but I'll check them out down the road for sure. So, yeah. And then this right here is a big collection I got thanks to my brother. He had gotten this for me as a part of the Criterion sale. This is about maybe 2-3 years ago he got this for me. Essentially includes the majority of Ingmar Bergman's filmography. So you get stuff like The Virgin Spring, Shame, Autumn's Sonata, Seventh Seal, Fanny and Alexander is in this as well, Cries and Whispers, I believe. Some of which I actually will be covering on my podcast, whether it's through the Lone Screenplay Nominee podcast or through our Patreon. But Ingmar Bergman's a really interesting and fascinating director. If nothing else, when I have the time and patience to watch his other movies, I'd be curious to see what I think of his films. Because his films are not ones you could just throw on and be like, oh, I'm interested in watching an Ingmar Bergman movie. It's like, even though some of these are pretty short, I know Persona's pretty short, and Shame I remember being pretty short. These are movies, at least the two that I've seen so far, they're movies that you really have to watch in a certain mood, at least for me. And if you have the patience and have the energy to watch them and really pay attention to what Ingmar Bergman is doing in his storytelling, I think you could really appreciate his movies overall. And I'm dying to see his other films down the road. So I'll check them out as soon as I can. Next up on the list, Some Like It Hot. I did an episode for Zeta Short, who was on the podcast for Casanova 70. But I did an episode with her on her channel for a channel that's no longer working. I don't know. I can't remember. But regardless, I might even do like a Patreon for this down the road. We'll see. But I remembered thinking it was a pretty solid romantic comedy for Billy Wilder. And I'm not really the biggest fan of romantic comedies, but this was actually pretty good. I would recommend it. If nothing else, the final like 5 minutes of the movie is 10 out of 10. No notes. Perfect. Really just terrific comedic timing. And Jack Lemmon's pretty great. I'm trying to see who else is in this movie. Tony Curtis as well. He's pretty good in the movie too. But yeah, great movie. I enjoyed it. And yeah, if you haven't seen it already, go ahead and watch it. Come on. What are you doing? Next up, The Irishman. Even though Netflix already has their own version through their streaming service, I might as well have picked this up for a, they got a physical media copy of it. But I remember being pretty impressed with it. Martin Scorsese has rarely done any misses for me. I mean, even something like Killers of the Flower Moon, which I know a lot of people are pretty divided on, I really enjoyed that film a lot, despite its long and lengthy runtime. But The Irishman I really enjoyed, if nothing else. Robert De Niro's great. It was nice to see Joe Pesci back in a really terrific role. Same with Al Pacino. I really liked a lot of this performance, his performance as well. Yeah, I don't have anything else to add other than if Apple or whoever is in charge of Killers of the Flower Moon is interested in doing a physical media, or they're curious about it, kind of iffy, do it. I would be willing to pick up a physical copy of it for sure, because I think it's really, like, come on guys, it's Martin Scorsese. Give me a physical copy of it, please. Thank you. Blue Velvet. This is a pretty solid psychological drama. It's a messed up movie for sure, but I really like the power dynamics between Dennis Hopper, Kyle MacLachlan, and Isabella Rossellini. Like, their performances in and of themselves are terrific, and it's a shame that David Lynch is such an interesting filmmaker, in that even if I don't get his movies per se, I still come away with some sort of appreciation about the man as a storyteller. And it's a shame that he's no longer with us making more movies and weird stuff. But I would love to I would like to go down the yellow brick road, so to speak, and watch the rest of his films. And yeah, it's a really... and as for Blue Velvet, I thought it was really, really terrific. So, yeah, definitely enjoyed this one. Hunger. Have not seen it yet. I'll check it out down the road. Jabberwocky, directed by Terry Gilliam. Haven't seen this yet. I'll check it out down the road as well, and I'll give my full thoughts on that down the road, like I said. One False Move. What a surprise. Haven't seen this yet. Yeah, I'll check it out down the road. Brazil. I've only seen this once, but I remember thinking it was pretty good. But I'd like to revisit this again. I do like the world building in terms of the production design. The screenplay had some really interesting and unique ideas in the film that Terry Gilliam was tackling. And and Terry Gilliam himself is another fascinating director, just like David Lynch is, but in their own weird, kooky way. So yeah. The Player. So this is the first Robert Altman film I had seen ever. I'd be curious in seeing the rest of his filmography. I have Gosford Park. I have another film actually in the collection here that'll probably pop up pretty soon. But yeah, terrific movie. I enjoyed it. Definitely watch it if you haven't already. So yeah, I'd recommend this for sure. The Game. I haven't seen this in a while, but I remember thinking it was pretty good. I know David Fincher's against the ending itself, but I would be okay revisiting this again down the road. So yeah. Trainspotting. I have not opened this up. I just got in the mail, I want to say about a week or so ago. In fact, you could actually see, if you could see some of the it's in the plastic wrap that it came in. But yeah, I'll cover this on my not Patreon. I'll cover this on my Lone Screenplay Nominee podcast down the road. I do not have a guest for it as of this recording, but I will hopefully get one down the road. If not later this year, then definitely by next year I'll cover this on the podcast. Breaker Morant, another Lone Screenplay Nominee podcast episode I'll have to cover. I have not seen this yet, and no guest is been asked or has come forward with me on covering this for the show. So, TBA. Room with a View. I remember liking this a fair amount. I'd be interested in revisiting it again down the road. So, yeah, but I remember liking it a fair amount. And another terrific performance by Daniel Day-Lewis. So, yeah. The 400 Blows I've already covered on my Lone Screenplay Nominee podcast. If you want to hear more of my thoughts on it, check out the episode. And, yeah, I don't really need to say anything more than that. My episode really speaks for itself and what I think of it. So, yeah. The Piano. I have seen this once. I remember thinking it was a pretty solid movie directed and written by Jane Campion. Almost said Champion. Well, she is a champion of filmmaking. But no, she's really good. A really solid director. If nothing else, she's one of the few directors I can name on the top of my head of directors who've been able to direct really good kid performances. Anna Paquin won her deserved Academy Award for this. Really, really solid in the film. And yeah, I really like this. Wouldn't mind revisiting this down the road. So yeah. Nanavima Murder. I have not seen this film yet. And I will check it out down the road. Tree of Life. I'll check it out down the road. I'm willing to give Terry Malick a chance. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I'd be willing to give this a try. This, and there's another film from Terry Malick that I'd be interested in giving a chance. But yeah, so we'll see how I feel about this on a watch down the road. Infernal Affairs. I have not seen the sequels. I have seen the first movie, but I remember liking the first film. I actually saw it at Stevenson University. It's one of the few films from the Criterion collection that I got a chance to watch in my Stevenson University film classes. The first one, at least. And I remember liking it, although I personally prefer the first one just because there was something about the first one for me that I find more engaging. The fact that it adds like another hour to the film to build upon more character within the film. That is something I feel like this one's kind of missing. But I appreciated the style that it was going for. And I do like the film overall. I do like the first one. I'd be willing to watch it again, and I'd be willing to revisit the other two films down the road. So, yeah. Tess, I've not seen. Traffic, pretty solid movie. Great ensemble. Probably one of the few Dennis Quaid performances I could actually... I actually think are pretty good. Well, one of the few performances of his that I actually liked. So, yeah, I know Benicio del Toro got his, won 4 Oscars, director, adapted screenplay, editing, and Benicio del Toro won for supporting actor. Pretty good movie overall. 12 Angry Men, probably one of the best blind watches and blind buys I've ever had of the entire Criterion collection so far. It is an incredible and amazing courtroom drama that is everyone in the ensemble is incredible. The writing is fantastic, and for this being Sidney Lumet's directorial debut, it's stunning to see him go from this and then to go on to do stuff like Dog Day Afternoon, which I will cover on my show down the road, and even Network, and all these other like great movies he's been a part of, and it's like, holy crap, this guy is like really terrific. Even on the first try, it's like, wow, this guy really, he has a voice, he has a vision, and it's rare that you see a directorial debut be this strong. So, highly recommend it if you haven't seen it already. Terrific film overall. The Thin Red Line is another film that I have not seen yet. I'd be willing to watch this down the road, but I'm going to need a whole day for this because it's like almost 3 hours long. So, Fantastic Mr. Fox. I've actually warmed up to this over the years since I first saw it. I remember thinking it was just okay. But as the years have gone on, I've actually enjoyed it a bit more on rewatches, and I appreciate what Wes Anderson's doing. It's actually one of the few kids movies that I could show a kid, and adults would also like this too. But yeah, it's a good stop motion animated film. Great ensemble involved, with actors like George Clooney. Meryl Streep is in it as well. Bill Murray, I think, is in it too. Adrian Brody plays like a small role in it. Willem Dafoe is great in it. Michael Gambon is in it, I believe. Just a terrific cast overall, and really beautiful animation. Stop motion animation, I should say. Check this out if you haven't already. And if you're a big Wes Anderson fan and you haven't crossed this off your watch list, go ahead. Come on, you got to watch this for sure. So yeah, Great Escape. I have watched it once. I enjoyed it a lot. If nothing else, I think Steve McQueen is pretty charming in regards to how to do flashy editing and make it, have it feel purposeful with its various cuts. But it's just a really strongly edited film, and if nothing else, it's an interesting autobiography on the director Bob Fosse, who directed Cabaret, and he did Lenny, I think was another one. Pretty good movie overall. Roy Scheider's also in this too. He got an Oscar nomination out of this, and I would recommend it if you haven't seen it already. So yeah, that's my thoughts on it. Barry Lyndon. Stanley Kubrick is a fascinating director, and it's interesting to see him channel from like one genre to the next, and he's able to make, at worst, a really solid genre movie. So, him doing like a period piece in like the 16th, 17th century, no, 18th century, of sorts, and have him capture such a great, like, have such great cinematography, terrific production design, amazing costumes, a really good score. All the performances in it are really solid, and Kubrick himself, again, is just a terrific director. Yeah, just great movie. I enjoyed it. Doctor Strangelove. I did enjoy the film overall, and I would recommend people watch this, but I don't think it's quite nearly as memorable as something like Doctor. What was it? The movie I just talked about, Barry Lyndon. I remember Shining to be a little bit more memorable, but I still recommend watching this. If nothing else, there's interesting commentary going on in the movie. Peter Sellers is pretty good. Even oh gosh, who's the actor in this? I'm blanking on his name. George C. Scott. He's pretty good in this too. So I would definitely recommend this if you haven't seen it already. Bicycle Thieves. I've already covered this on the Lone Screenplay Nominee podcast. If you want to hear more of my thoughts on it, myself and one of my professors from Stevenson, Professor Reed, had covered this on the Lone Screenplay Nominee podcast. Check out our episode to hear more of my thoughts on it. Silence of the Lambs, really terrific movie. Definitely one of the best picture winners we've had of the 90s. Really solid work from everyone. Deserved all 5 of the Academy Awards, the 5 Oscars it got, I should say. So, yeah, I enjoy this a lot. And I would not be opposed to rewatching this again and again, every so often. Europa. I have not covered this on the Lone Screenplay Nominee podcast, but I will cover it down the road. Last Emperor. Have not seen this yet. I'll check it out down the road. On the Waterfront, I remember thinking it was a pretty solid movie with Marlon Brando giving a terrific performance. I think it was Lee J. Cobb is pretty good in it too. Rod Steiger. Who else was in this? Eva Marie Saint. She's pretty good in it too. Yeah, I would definitely would like to revisit this down the road. So, yeah, I definitely would recommend this. And Leonard Bernstein did the music for this, which, by the way, this is his only Oscar nomination he ever got in his entire career, which is insane. Parasite. Don't need to really say much more other than if you haven't seen it already, I don't know where you've been living. You must have been living under a cave for the last 5 or 6 years. I'm pretty sure it made it on the New York Times #1 film so far as of 2025. So, yeah, terrific movie. I enjoyed it. Definitely check it out if you haven't already. Great movie. It's a mad world I have not seen yet, but I will check out down the road, maybe even do a Patreon podcast for this. I don't know. But, yeah, I would be interested in checking it out. I know that Stanley Kramer directed this, who directed Judgment at Nuremberg, that was a terrific movie. Incredible. Check this out if you, check Judgment at Nuremberg, check that movie out, and then I'll check this out, and then, I don't know, I'd be curious to know what I think of the movie. So, yeah. The Before trilogy, which is probably one of the bigger blind spots of this entire Criterion collection I haven't done yet. We'll cover Before Sunset and Before Midnight down the road on my Lone Screenplay Nominee podcast. I don't know when that will be. I do have potential guests for them, but I'll see if they're available to cover it for the show down the road. We'll see. It's all about timing. So, yeah, I'd be willing to check this out for sure. And, yeah, that's that. The Curious Case of Benjamin Button I own. I haven't seen this in a long time, but I remember thinking it was pretty solid. Also, as you can see here, it has a Blu-ray disc to it, almost looking like a regular Blu-ray disc, but it is indeed a Criterion release. So, yeah, it's you can see the logo. If you could see, I don't know if you're able to see it, right there. You could see the logo right there for the Criterion. But it is a Criterion release. I have no idea why this was given the look like this, but whatever. But yeah, I'd be curious in revisiting this down the road. And I'm a big fan of David Fincher, so he really can't do much wrong in my book, in my opinion. Election. Already covered this on the Lone Screenplay Nominee podcast. If you want to hear more of my thoughts on it, check out the episode and hear us talk about myself and Roberto Ortiz gushing about the performance by Reese Witherspoon. So yeah, definitely recommend the movie. Blowout. If you're a fan of filmmaking or you really like a good dramatic thriller starring John Travolta and directed by Brian De Palma, I would definitely recommend watching this movie. I have my own issues with the film itself. I wouldn't mind wanting to revisit this again down the road, but I remembered thinking it was pretty solid for what it was. Grand Budapest Hotel, pretty solid movie. Probably Wes Anderson's best movie I've done. In fact, it's probably the first one I've seen, and he hasn't really topped himself since, in my opinion. Yeah, great physical comedy. I really like the humor a lot, especially in terms of the writing. Directing is pretty solid. Even, deserved all the 4 technical Oscars it got. It was like makeup, production design, costumes, and score. Really solid work overall. So, yeah, I enjoyed this for sure. Double Indemnity. Even though this has the plastic cover wrap or shrink wrap over it, I have seen this actually at Stevenson University. I thought it was pretty solid. In fact, this might have been the first Billy Wilder film I've seen all the way through, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, this is a pretty solid film. And yeah, I'd definitely recommend it. It's a good film noir flick that I'd highly recommend you check out if you haven't seen it already. Being John Malkovich, I have yet to see this film yet, although I do like Spike Jonze's other films, Her, and I remember thinking adaptation was pretty solid, so I'd be interested in watching this down the road. Three Colors Trilogy. This is the other blind spot, or one of the many blind spots from this entire collection I haven't done yet. I'd be interested in watching these down the road. I don't think I'll be able to cover them for any sort of Patreon or screenplay podcast for my stuff, so... But yeah, I'd be interested in checking this down the road when I have the time. Amores Perros, which is a Iñárritu movie, or Alejandro González Iñárritu, the same guy who did Birdman, Revenant. I have yet to see this all the way through, but I will check it out down the road. Punch Drunk Love, directed by Paul Thomas Anderson. I remembered thinking this was a pretty solid enough movie. And I thought Adam Sandler was actually, this is one of the few roles I could tolerate him, and if nothing else, he's putting on a really great performance. Philip Seymour Hoffman's great. Emily Watson, I think, is in this. She's pretty good in the film, too. I think Luis Guzman's in this, too. Because remember, he was in Boogie Nights and Magnolia as well. But, yeah, I'd be interested in revisiting this down the road. So, yeah. Mulholland Drive, David Lynch film I have not seen yet. I will check it out down the road, I promise. The Red Shoes, have not seen yet, but I'll check it out down the road. Paths of Glory, didn't see yet. I'll check it out down the road. Another Stanley Kubrick film, by the way, I should mention. Last Temptation of Christ, haven't seen this all the way through yet, but I'll check it out down the road once again. Nightmare Alley, I've only seen the remake by Guillermo del Toro and Bradley Cooper. I will check out the original down the road, once again, with these films. Oh, look at that. Another one. Haven't seen yet. Shortcuts. Black Narcissus. Haven't seen yet. Check it out down the road. All About Eve. This is a pretty solid take on Hollywood deconstruction, especially within the filmmaking industry. Betty Davis, Ann Baxter, Celeste Holm, I think that's how you pronounce the name. Joseph L. Mankiewicz directed this. This is a really solid movie. I definitely would recommend this, even though it's a 1950s film, and I know that there are some people that cannot stand any film, that's older than the 1970s. Too bad. You're going to see a lot of great films from films beyond, or younger than 1970s. And yeah, I encourage everyone to check this out if you ever get a chance. It's pretty solid. Y Tu Mamá También, already covered it on my podcast with Ronaldo Sosa. Check out for more of my thoughts on the episode. But in short, it's pretty good. Yeah, check it out for full thoughts on it. So, yeah. Rebecca, which this is the only Best Picture winner, or the only film that won Best Picture that was directed by Alfred Hitchcock. Really solid film, I must say, with Laurence Olivier, and who else was in this movie? I can't remember who it was. Joan Fontaine. Okay, yeah, that's who it was. She's great in the film too. Oh, it even says here on the thing here. Okay. But yeah, definitely would recommend watching this if you haven't seen it already. A really solid Hitchcockian psychodrama. But yeah, really good movie. I have not seen the remake yet. I don't know if I ever would want to watch it, but yeah, but I definitely would recommend watching this film. Real quick, before I forget, there's one other film that I failed to bring up in the original video that I recorded along with the other stuff. Anora. Long story short, had a great time watching this at the Vista Theater in California with my cousin Dan. We saw this with a packed house. Great experience, and awesome that it won Best Picture. Because nothing else, even on our car ride trip back from the theater, we were like, would it be hilarious if this ended up winning Best Picture at the Oscars? And Dan and my cousin Dan was like, yeah, that'd be like a cherry on top of the whole trip. But yeah, no, I would go into more detail on this down the road, but I think I will. I'm gonna hold on to that story for a bit, but yeah, so this was the other last film from the Criterion collection I own. So yeah, that's that. So what did you guys think of my Criterion haul? Do you guys have any of the films that I have? Are there any films on the list that are blind spots for you? Blind spots, first watches, you've never seen them before. What do you think? Comment below and let me know. I also encourage you guys that if you can, just please subscribe. It helps the channel out a bit. Also, if anyone is interested in getting any of the Criterion movies that I've already talked about on this episode, or if you're interested in seeing, like if you want to get a copy of Anora, you want to get Rebecca, you want to get Amores Perros, I have affiliated links below in the description. I encourage you guys to click on the links below. I'm a part of the Amazon affiliate program in which you guys purchase any of the films that I own through the links. I get a commission from them. And also it helps that right now as I'm recording this and when this episode will drop, the Criterion sale ends on July 27th for this year. They'll have another Criterion sale going on later on in the year. But essentially, from now until July 27th, you get 50% off on all Criterion movies, whether it's something even like the Ingmar Bergman collection I've already shown you guys, which is a huge collection of movies you can get. 50% off. And like I said, if you click on any of the affiliated links for all the films that I own, that I've already showed you in the video, you click on them, purchase them at your leisure. I get a commission. If you're able to get any of these movies, great, awesome. Let me know. As always, if you'd like to see more, subscribe. Let me know what you guys want for the channel. I'd be offered to do more videos like this if you'd like. Maybe go through more of my Blu-ray collection. We'll see. But otherwise, hope you guys have a wonderful day. Take care.